Hey there, are you one of these folks that loves the brand new cruise ships, always want to be on the newest, biggest, and best? Stay tuned for our review of the brand new Celebrity Ascent. Joining me today are Rich and Linda Skinner, owners of Cruise Holidays of Woodinville, located in Kirkland, Washington. Rich and Linda and their expert team of travel advisors have been meeting the needs of their clients in and around Kirkland, Washington, and across the country for the last 20 plus years. Hi, folks. Welcome back to RTE-Travel Talk.
Hi, Ken. How are you today?
Wonderful. Great to have you back with us.
Good to see you, Ken.
So as you guys probably know, we're big fans of Celebrity Cruises. Always have been. It's probably the cruise line that we've sailed on the most. But one thing that we haven't had the opportunity to do over the years is to enjoy a voyage on the new Edge class of ships. Now, I happen to know that both you and Rich have just recently returned from the inaugural voyage of the new Edge class ship, the Celebrity Ascent. I thought today we could take a little time and describe what an Edge class ship is and get your thoughts on the brand new Celebrity Ascent. How does that sound?
That
Sounds good.
Perfect.
One of the things I've noticed that Celebrity's been extremely successful at is differentiating their product to different groups who might wish to have things, such as their retreat for the suite passenger, and then the other divisions that they have, the concierge class, the spa class. They've really managed to differentiate within the general product their own specific niches. And I think that kind of separates them a little bit from their major premium cruise line brethren.
Okay. So if we were to take kind of like a 30,000 foot level of the Edge class, how does that break down?
I would say, just from my experience on it, it's a more luxurious ship. It has a lot of really nice features. It's really great for, I think, where it's going to be sailing, because it's basically Caribbean and Mediterranean and spots in between as it's changing. It's like the very best of big ship. And yet not so big that you feel like you're in New York City.
Right on.
It's a very comfortable ship, very relaxing in so many aspects, and yet it has lots of very nice bells and whistles and a lot of little places to go retreat into. They've done a nice job of laying it out so that you have these little nooks and crannies where you can go and kind of feel like you're at a resort by yourself. You don't have to be, and yet you can go to the grand rooms where there's lots of people. Some very fun and nice features on the ship.
One of their taglines was modern luxury. So I gather that it probably still fits.
Yes. Definitely.
I'd call it sophisticated in many ways. When you get on the ship, the color palettes are very calming and
very nice,
and really relaxed. Wonderful artwork all throughout the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Some avant-garde stuff and some more traditional stuff, and they've really blended it all together to give something that really fits all. The whole ship kind of fits all together in a harmonious way.
How big is the Ascent, and is she comparable to her sister ships in the class? How many passengers and that sort of thing?
She's about 3,260 or something like that passengers, and it's like 141,000 tons. So it's a little. They did make it slightly larger than the Edge class ship. She's a little bit bigger. They lengthened her a little bit more, and basically that was giving more space to the common rooms, not really increasing the number of staterooms that much. On the top deck, on the roof garden, which is absolutely gorgeous, has a pickleball court in the middle of it, and next to it is a really nice indoor-outdoor restaurant and a big screen TV up there for, showing different things, watching movies and watching things going on. And
the major lengthening that you will really probably notice is in the grand bar, in the atrium in the center of the ship. They made that much more of a place for people to kind of on tiers. You can sit on tiers or down at the bottom, and you can sit up at the top in the coffee shop and have coffee. But they made it more of a social center for the middle of the ship. So people really congregate there. And so that's what they put, it's the show bar. It's the guys doing the juggling and the 28 things of making drinks and all that kind of stuff that people really enjoy. And it's right kind of the center part of the ship.
So
Bar.
It's like the atrium. It's the center of the
Right.
of the ship with the open levels. They have the lighting going really
And
different.
music.
There's a very modern chandelier that does all sorts of things. We don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's kind of fun to
yeah, to
discover it.
experience these things for
But it's
yourself.
interesting. It's
Obviously,
just
they also have that the over the water dining room and
The magic
what they call
carpet.
it?
the
magic
magic
carpet.
carpet. Yes. And
And
that goes up and down. It could be a docking platform, and especially nice if they have to do tendering. But it also goes and can be an outdoor bar area on one level, and it could be a restaurant on another level. And so it moves around. And so part of your program is to know where the magic carpet is today.
so that's really in the program.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So one thing that the Edge class is noted for, folks, is their accommodations.
Mhm.
And they make a lot of what they call their infinite verandas. Did you
Mhm.
folks have the opportunity to stay in one?
We were not in an infinite veranda. We were in a actual balcony veranda stateroom, but we did get to tour all of the different staterooms since we were on the inaugural. We're able to see the infinite balcony, which is very, very nice. The window motorizes down.
Right.
So that it becomes like, it's kind of like an indoor outdoor balcony kind of thing.
So with the infinite veranda, it gives you the availability of actually probably but another 40 square feet inside your stateroom.
Exactly.
And you answered another question I had, which was they have both types of balconies on board the Edge class.
Yes, they do. Yes,
It's not,
they
you're
do.
not just restricted to these infinite verandas. If it's not your thing.
Right. Very nice. I mean, the rooms are very beautiful, well decorated, well appointed. The shower for a ship, the shower was massive in our veranda stateroom.
So how would you say that their staterooms compare to, say, for example, on aboard a Princess ship?
I think they're slightly larger.
I do too. Yeah.
Definitely Princess, especially with the new Princess ships, is one of their main competitors. I think that they're really trying to go head to head to be better than they are. It's interesting how that premium class has moved. So you have Princess and Celebrity on one end, and you got Cunard and Holland America on the other end. So it really is two more traditional and two more modern,
Yeah.
avant-garde kinds of things. And I think Celebrity really takes honors as far as being most innovative in so many ways, especially in the entertainment department. I'm extremely jaded when it comes to onboard entertainment. I usually watch the show for about 3 seconds and then leave. They had such an amazing entertainment complex on that ship that we saw 2 of their shows, and I wish they'd done them again and let us see them again.
Really?
Because the performance level was amazing. The technology is jaw-dropping. I mean, it is amazing to see all of the computers. When you walk into the showroom, it looks like you're walking underneath an enormous aquarium with sharks and everything else swimming in front of you, because it's like a 270-degree screen that's about 50 feet high, and it's super high def, computerized, just amazing. And then the actors do a lot of Cirque du Soleil stuff out of the ceiling and out of the ground and into the audience and all of that kind of stuff. Just fantastic.
And with that backdrop of that screen, they used that so well in all of their performances. So like in one scene where it was supposed to be raining, they had the rain on the screen coming down, and you really felt like it was raining. It really, and if they were supposed to be in Paris, then they would have a backdrop of Paris at night back there, and
So
it was
the shows and the entertainment on board then is really first class. That's high.
It was.
That's high praise coming from folks that have been on like 100 plus cruises.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the best we'd ever seen.
So checking over the fact sheet on the Ascent, it's near and dear to my own heart, and that's dining. And it doesn't look like you're going to be stuck for choices in dining with like
No.
32 distinct areas and beverage options.
Yeah.
What was your favorite, and what did you enjoy about it? Or
I had to go back on the diet plan when we got back.
Well, they've taken the concept of not having a giant dining room like many of the ships have, and splitting up into 4 separate dining rooms that have different themes to them, and you can go to whatever your choice is for those 4. And
We
then
really loved the Mediterranean, and that was one of the included dining rooms,
Yeah.
one of the 4 included. And we had such great food and service that night. It was I think that was our favorite, don't you, Rich?
Yeah.
That
so
was
tell me,
good.
tell me a little bit more about that. There's 4 included dining rooms. It's almost, to me, it almost harkens back to the way Disney worked, where you had 4 different venues to go to over the
Yeah.
course of your
Mhm,
over
mhm.
your cruise. Is it the
Yeah.
same
The only
kind of idea here, or?
It is.
difference is you have the choice. They don't assign it to you. It's not like you have to move to this one and move to that one. It's
Right.
whichever one you want to go to. You can go to.
Oh, okay.
But then you had all of the other ones, the French Bistro, which is lovely, and you had the one with the little cartoon art that runs across your table and does
The Pete Chef.
lots of steakhouse, and just amazing number of choices of things you could do.
Right.
So you're never going to want for finding a different kind of food.
So,
And even the food that we had in the buffet, in the Lido, was just phenomenal. There was a seafood day where they must have had 200 pounds of shrimp. Every place we went, the food was excellent.
what were some of your most memorable moments you think would stand out for your guests that you're going to put on board?
It's the overall ship, the way it all comes together and it flows so nicely.
I love that adult pool area that they have on Celebrity, and this area on the Ascent is even just kind of a little bit more special, and you're sitting on your lounge chair just watching the world go by.
Yeah, it's nice to have those areas. Now, one thing, when I first started cruising, the very first cruise I took was on my honeymoon. And I said to my wife, well, you're getting married, you got to do what you got to do. She wanted to go on a cruise. And I thought to myself, well, you're not going to get me on no freaking cruise ship because I don't like big crowds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And our first cruise is on Celebrity Mercury. And I got on board and to find out that, yes, there's a lot of people on board, but the ships are so well designed that it doesn't feel crowded. Now, I would expect that on the Edge class, that's the same. Like
Yes.
these great places that you guys have spoken about, they probably don't feel crowded. Am I right about that?
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's, if you, like I say, if you want the crowd, you can
You can
find
find.
the area and do that. But you can also find lots of little nooks and crannies where you can just kind of veg out or disappear.
So,
Yeah.
so if you're into the on-deck party and all the participation stuff, you can find that.
Yeah,
But you can
exactly.
also, you can also find quiet corners where it can be just you in the ship.
Oh, yes.
You and the ship and your book and watch
Yeah.
the ocean go by.
Watch it all go by. We touched on it just a couple of minutes ago about the retreat, Celebrities Ships Within Ships concept.
Yes.
Did they give you a tour of the retreat?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Can
Yes.
you tell us a little bit about just exactly what the retreat is and the concept?
It's kind of their suites area where they have their suites. And this area is an area where the suites passengers can have their own sunbathing area, pool area. So it's kind of like a luxury ship, small ship within the luxury large ship.
Right. So if we were to compare that, basically, if I understand you correctly, what it is, it's a small ship within the big ship, meaning that if you want to enjoy the level of service and attention that you would receive on a small luxury line, you can find that on board this larger ship, but still take advantage of all the extra amenities that the small ship can't provide, like the big
Exactly.
nice shows,
The big showroom and
multiple dining options, and so on and so forth. It kind
Exactly.
of gives you the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
These ships are obviously extremely popular. How far in advance should you book a cruise to guarantee you get what you want on board these beautiful ships?
If you are really interested in the luxury of the suite category, you need to be booking at least a year out because those are
Really?
booking up so fast. That's such a grand experience, people are really looking for those. And so those book up really fast. I would say nothing under 9 months. If you want your pick of staterooms and location,
Right.
you can get something probably up to 4 or 5 months ahead, but you probably won't get the itinerary you want, and you probably won't get the stateroom you want.
And
Okay.
Celebrity's running some amazing promotions during wave season. I mean, so there are lots of promos that are out there for Celebrity.
So,
people, I often talk to my clients about this because they're under the misconception that the closer in you book, the better your price is going to be. That is a myth. That maybe was a long time ago, but it's not now. I just had a client doing another cruise line, and prices went up between last week and this week. And the closer in ones were more expensive than the further out ones. So the way things are doing in the travel world, that is not the case anymore. You don't get deals close in.
So your best advice is to take advantage of the current promotions that are there, which mostly come out in wave season. And wave season runs from basically the 1st of January through the end of March.
Yes.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you take advantage of those to book early, 9 months to 12 months out, to get what you want, because prices are not going to go down.
That's right. The ships are not wanting for clients. It's not like they're going, oh, we're going to have to, cut this way down to get somebody on.
And that myth is kind of generated because I'm sure you see it in your social media as well. From time to time, I always get a pop-up ad, unsold cabins.
Yeah.
And on these beautiful new ships, that's just not a thing, is it?
No. If it's an unsold cabin, you better look at what the ship is.
That goes to the value of having a good travel advisor in your corner to make sure that you're aware of what you're actually getting.
Exactly.
In your opinion, folks, who is Celebrity Cruises suited for? Are they a good family line, middle-aged? Where do they fall? Who would you put on Celebrity Cruise?
It's not so much with the age of the person. It's what kind of travel that person is looking for.
Okay.
So, if you have a young couple that are looking for a great anniversary celebration or something, we're leaving the kids at home and we're going out. This is like can be a perfect romantic cruise. It's great for older, like late teen, early 20 kind of. If their kids are in that age, they do have children's programs on there that, from what I understand, I did not get a chance to witness but they do a lot of really fun things, so I think a multi-generational thing would be really good too. It doesn't have the rock climbing wall that their partner Royal has, those kinds of things. So it's really kind of more of what they desire in their cruise.
But again, Linda, that's a conversation you're going to have with your clients. You're talking to clients and they get kids that want to be active and doing things and are going to get bored and make mom and dad miserable as a result. If they are, then that's a conversation. Well, maybe you lean them towards a Royal Caribbean with the rock climbing walls and all the
water park and all that stuff.
Wonderful water parks. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, folks, this is really super information. Is there anything else you'd like to add about Celebrity Ascent before we wrap up?
I just think that, to kind of wrap up, to just say that, if you're looking for a really beautiful ship that gives you a great experience with, feeling like it's luxurious, then the Ascent is a really good one for you to try.
Yeah, perfect. And Rich?
I would second what Linda says. I think I would feel somebody who's a little bit sophisticated, has definitely things that they like and a little more quality to it, that they would find it to be right up their alley, that there's so many choices for them that I think it allows them to really be able to do the things that they like to do. And
fantastic. So if folks wanted to reach out to you about a Celebrity cruise or another cruise vacation, what would be the best way to do that, folks?
Best way to do it is call us 425-487-4001 going across, or go to info@luxuriant.com. We're available and we'd love to talk to you about your next dream cruise vacation.
Well, I'll leave that information in the description for those folks that may want to reach out. Now, I always have to know, since part of your job is to travel, Hence, you were on the inaugural cruise of the Ascent. Where are you folks off to next?
I think we still, Africa's still there. It's taking a little more time because it's a sophisticated product to go to Central and Southern Africa.
We'll be going to Alaska. We're looking at some other stuff too.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about your African safari adventure when you get around to taking it. We'll have to have you back to regale us with that and all the interesting research and stuff that you've done, Linda. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right.
Super.
So with that, folks, I'm going to just wish the two of you safe and happy travels on all your future cruises and destinations. May the wind always be at your back, and I hope to see the two of you on the Lido deck sometime soon.
Sounds
Back
great.
Take care.
Bye.
And that about wraps it up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guests, Rich and Linda Skinner of Cruise Holidays of Woodinville. If you'd like to reach out to Rich and Linda, I will leave their contact information in the description. If you'd like to reach us, you can send a question to questions@realtravelexperts.com, visit our website, realtravelexperts.com, or simply leave a comment. We always respond. And as always, folks, if you enjoyed this content, a like, subscribe, and a ring of the bell is certainly appreciated and helps us to spread the word. So until next time, happy travels.